Hey everyone, welcome to another review of Neon Genesis Evaneglion. Today we're going for episode 6. This is kind of an interesting episode because it fleshes out some of the major characters, and not only that, we get into an angel fight, and it's happening live. So let's get started with the first part of the show, which is called Showdown in Tokyo. Alright, Showdown in Tokyo takes place really right after episode 5, and basically the brunt of this episode is we see the setup, which is the fifth angel appears, and he shoots Unit 1 as soon as it comes out. And what happens here is there is a series of boardroom events and talking events. For those of you who've seen our Shin Godzilla 2016 review, you'll be more than happy for this, and you can see where a lot of that stuff happened from, which is it's just a bunch of people talking about what are we going to do with these events and how can we handle it. And for most of this episode, Misato takes the forefront, or Commander Katsuragi, as she's often referred to, and she takes the Magi, the three brains of Nerve, and she takes the best probability, which is still at a staggering 8.7% on, how to handle this situation. Masato takes center stage for a lot of this because this is showing her as a leader, and not only as a leader, as a presence in this show. So this is building on her character. Everyone's telling her she's not thinking properly, from Ritsuko to Gendo to Fuyutsuki, but she convinces him to go with it. So we're gonna have this plan. This episode also it's the start of the interactions, or the more deeply interactions between Rei and Shinji, as Shinji was very much wounded when he first went out to attack the sixth angel. If I get it wrong, whatever. And she comes up to him while he's in recuperation, going, "This is what the plan is. This is what we have to do. Show up X, Y, and Z." Shinji, being the person he is, goes, "I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this." And the first half of the episode ends with the fact that he clearly doesn't want to do this, and Rei goes, "Fine," being the good soldier Rei Ayanami is. She says, "Fine, I'll do it on my own." And Shinji kind of sees the selfishness in that, or either that, or he sees a lot of empathy in her. And that's kind of where the episode ends. So we go on to the second part of the episode, which is the title of the episode, Rei II. Rei II is a continuation. Shinji finally gets on board. Rei decides that, alright, I'm going to be the backup. And it's kind of funny, actually, because in this episode, you see the relationship grow between Shinji and Rei, and at the same time, you also see similarities between the relationship between Rei and Gendo. And that will come in later, once again, I'm trying to be non-spoiler as I can with this half of the episode. So this half of the episode talks about how they procure the rifle to, and it's a lot about setup. It's about setup on how they're going to defeat this angel. And they kind of finally figure it out, and it gets to a point where Shinji kind of puts to rest the fact that he is kind of Luke Skywalker of this world, being in that he has to do this even though he doesn't want to. Once again, that's a topic that gets explored more and more as we get into this episode. The second half, Masato really doesn't have that much to do. She's kind of the person there who is setting everything up. As in the first part, this time she's kind of an observer. And they're setting up how they're gonna to kill this angel. And one of the things that comes up is we have to do it at a certain range, and for the first time we're going to have two EVA units deployed. So that's kind of interesting for the first time. And then once again, not to spoil too much about this part of the episode, is the fact that we see once again a parallel between Gendo's relationship and Ayanami's relationship with Shinji's relationship and Ayanami. And the episode kind of ends like that, with a cohesion between episode 5 and episode 6. So it's kind of fun to watch it as that. This episode is actually kind of really good because it sets up, once again, this show is all about setup. This show is all about building towards something else, and more or less it's kind of good. So this is a really good episode. Once again, we're going towards different places, and characters are being developed, which you kind of want in a show like this. And once again, I don't get where people say this is a show that was a Monster of the Week episode. So, but that's just me. Go out of your way to see it. Rei II is definitely a build on the 5th episode. At the same time, we're leading toward character development, which is something that I don't think a lot of shows nowadays do. But that's it for today. I'll be doing episode 7 pretty soon, which is more Masato episode. And then hopefully by the end of this week I'll have episode 8 done, which is we're gonna have to do episode 8 twice, because when we get there you'll understand why. That's all I have to say about this episode. So peace out.